about 6 foot 2 inches tall, but I wasn't always this way. In fact, I didn't hit 5 foot until I was a sophomore or junior in high school. Most of my adolescence was lived in miniature. Now there are these great ironies in the world that upon viewing, one really has no choice but to simply laugh. And there's a point in my junior high years where I was one of these ironies. Because on my junior high track team, I was a hurdler. Now I was nowhere near the fastest in the conference, and in fact most oftentimes I would come in last. But I'd finish every race as fast as my little legs would carry me.
Here's for fun. Impressive how the dress code's working.
There's something terrifying about running a hurdles event, and I don't know if it exists in a mere foot race. You see, at the beginning of each hurdles race, you know that there are obstacles standing in between you and the finish line. And what's worse is that through experience and practice, you know that oftentimes you're going to hit one of those hurdles, and that sharp hardness will rake against your shin, tearing the skin from the bone. And sometimes you will connect so solidly with one of those hurdles that it will send you splayed across the track. And you'll have to gather yourself and pick the lime and pebbles from your knees and from your palms. And all of this, if it happens, will happen in front of such a great crowd of coaches and friends and family.
Didactic ways represented in space.
But there is this joy in running, and even more in finishing a hurdles event. It's this thrilling joy in the obstinacy of refusing to let those hurdles stand in your way. And there's this great sense of accomplishment in crossing that finish line, knowing that you have overcome those obstacles that stood in your path. I liked running the hurdles, but in my transition to high school, my hurdling days ended. Because in high school, the hurdles grew, but I didn't. And so it is with the life of faith. Our faith must grow as the obstacles in our life grow bigger, so that we might, as Paul charges us in Hebrews, run with perseverance the race set out before us. Our faith must grow. If our faith isn't growing, we cannot continue to overcome the obstacles that stand in our life's path. Beloved people of God, there is such a great race set out before us. Obstacles are inevitable, but all of heaven and earth is watching. So don't let anything stand in your way of the joy of running with the finish line in mind. And the infinite joy that awaits when the Master stands and meets you face to face and says, "Well done, good and faithful servant." So let me ask you this. What obstacle stands in your way? What obstacles have tripped you up? The marks of discipleship are your training tools. Will you pick them up and run with them? May God bless you in your running.